Peter McWhirter, welcome.
Thanks, Donna.
Have you always been an Ashgrove boy? Tell me about the early years of Peter McWhirter.
Oh, look, I was raised in Enoggera. Went to Our Lady of Assumption, then on to St James's College in Fortitude Valley. Moved to Ashgrove in 1980, where I bought the current home we live in. And,
Wow.
And we've been there for the past 40 years. Dad was, an Irish immigrant. Came out on a £10 one-way ticket from Belfast in the early 50s. And the family sort of lived in Enoggera, from when I was born right through.
You went to Catholic schools. Did your mum and dad make you go to Mass?
Look, my dear grandmother incentivised me to become an altar boy by promising me that if I became an altar boy, she'd buy me a bike. But little did she inform me that the bike was going to be a second-hand girl's bike.
Right.
So anyhow, that was fine. So I was an altar boy, and so was my brother. My wife and I, Kerry, we have 5 sons, and we took the sort of Irish tradition from Dad's heritage, and we have a Liam, Seamus, Kieran, Connor and Declan. Met Kerry at an early age in that family, and we eventually connected, and we've been married now for nearly 35 years.
You excelled in sport?
Yeah, look, I was fortunate, to be involved with a great rugby league team at Valleys. Had a good era in the club, got an opportunity, and made the most of it.
All right, looking at your background, and we all joke and say, Dad was a £10 pom. How did you get into the fashion industry?
Well, I was in the Coolum Beach Surf Club for a number of years, and there was a guy in the club called John Ellingson, who was, more or less a mentor. John was working for one of the leading fashion agents in menswear, and they were looking for a junior storeman. At the time, I was finishing year 12 at the age of 16, took up the position as junior storeman, and then at the age of 17, picked up a licence and started repping on the road around southwest Queensland, Toowoomba, Dalby, Roma, Stanthorpe, Gundawindi, and that was my turf.
You, I think, were a person that fitted the Broncos out for their leisure wear in their first.
John Rebo was a very good friend of mine, and when John was the CEO at the Broncos, I was looking after a brand called Sunshine Clothing, and we actually gave them, for the first couple of years, their first sort of travelling outfits.
Do you think that gave you an extra leg up in the corporate world of getting involved in that circle?
There's no doubt when I started my own business back in 1978 at the age of 22, and I was playing with Valleys. We were having a lot of success. I was having some personal success, so that gave me a profile in the industry which helped.
Is it a hard industry?
It's a very tough industry these days. We've got it's a changing. Back in the 70s, 80s, business was easy, everyone prospered, everyone did well. But the world's got smaller. We've got every international brand available pretty well in the marketplace here in Australia, which we're involved with a number of them. You've got online shopping. It's a very competitive world.
And what about with the family and keeping the faith? How hard has it been over the years? Not only keeping your faith, but keeping their faith. Do you think they've still kept theirs?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, definitely. And look, they just, I think the best way to communicate that is just to be as good a role model as possible. Kerry and I still attend weekly mass. The boys, it's up to them. They're at an age where they can make their own decision, but they've got a strong faith. They probably don't attend, mass as anywhere near often as we do, but it's as much as how you live your life.
All right, being a follower of the faith as you have been over the years, have you got a message for our Catholic Church?
I think the biggest challenge for the church is how they continue to move forward. They'll get to a point where, sort of priests, brothers and sisters are just not there, especially in this country.
Sure.
I know in Latin, South American countries and European countries, there's still a lot, but that's their biggest challenge.
Also, what does Peter McWhirter want to do from here on in? Do you see semi-retirement, retirement, or do you always want to stay going to work?
Oh, look, I think I really still enjoy what I do. I want to continue to work. My role is evolved more into a management role than the coal-faced salesperson. Just continue in the industry. Be around the family as much as possible. The boys, as they get older, have busy lives, busy agendas. So hopefully they can fit mum and dad into that, and we can catch up with them as often as possible.
Thank you for talking to us.
No worries, Donna. My pleasure.